Now let's talk about intention and the power of intention. Intention is also known as the power of our mind. Now, if I call 10 people who know you and I make them sit all around you and I give them all a piece of paper and I say, write down the qualities, good and bad, you see in this person, which is you. And they all were to write down 10 qualities. Now, do you think they'll all write the same thing? Quite unlikely they'll write the same thing. Everyone will write different things. They're all being honest, they're all sharing their true perception, but they'll all see different things. Maybe one person sees 5 good qualities, 5 not so good qualities. Maybe one person sees 1 good quality, 9 not so good qualities. Maybe one person doesn't see any good qualities, only 10 bad qualities. Someone sees 9 good, 1 bad, and someone sees all 10 good. Now just notice, your relationship with all of these people, it is very much a factor of what you think they think about you. And when you think they don't think well of you, your relationship with them goes down. And when you think they think well of you, your relationship with them goes up. Now when we meet people, when we greet people, can you see the best in them? In India we say Namaste. What is the meaning of Namaste? First of all, 2 hands are coming together, they're becoming like one. There's a certain warmth over there. Feel your hand, there's a certain warmth when you do that. And Namaste means the highest in me bows to the highest in you. And I like to add, may this be the happiest day of your life. So we do this, we move around the room in my session and we all look into each other's eyes. The highest in me bows to the highest in you. May it be the happiest day of your life. And there's such a lot of warmth and joy in the room. Everyone feels so touched by such a loving greeting. What we're doing is we're seeing the best in each other. And when we see the best in each other, we evoke the best in each other. Yatha drishti, tatha shrishti. So what am I seeing in myself? When I look in the mirror, what do I see in myself? If I see the best in myself, I bring out the best in myself. If I only criticize and fault find myself, that's what happens. There was a principal who called 3 teachers into her room and told them, I want you to know that you're the best teachers in my school. And because you're the best, I'm doing an experiment. I'm taking some of the best students and I'm putting them in section A. Best teachers, best students, let's see what happens. And teachers were very pleased to know that they're the best. So they went ahead and taught the class. At the end of the year, as expected, best teachers, best students, this class did really well. And the principal congratulated them. But then the principal said, I'm sorry to inform you, this was actually an experiment. Those children were no different from any other class. I had taken all the students and made sure they were equally distributed in all the different classrooms. So you actually didn't have extraordinary children. So the teachers were very amazed by that. So what does it mean? It means that we are such good teachers, we can take ordinary students and make them extraordinary? And the principal said, wait a minute. One more thing. You 3 teachers were taken at random. In other words, they were ordinary teachers teaching ordinary students. But there was one difference. The difference was they believed that they were the best. They saw themselves as the best. They saw their students as the best. Now this is called giving people an A. This is called seeing the best in others. When I see the best in you, I bring out the best in you. It's what I learned in management. It's known as the Pygmalion effect. Which means what we see is what we get. We see people as lazy, incompetent. That's what they become. If you believe they need constant supervision, or else they'll be lazy, that's what they become. If you believe that they are inherently self-motivated, if you give them a work, you can trust them to do it. If you really see it like that, they become extraordinary. So what are we seeing in others? So can we learn to give everyone an A? An A to your wife, an A to your kids, an A to your team members, and even the other people in your life. Give an A to the taxi driver. Give an A to the waiter in the restaurant. And if you do that, you'll be amazed they treat you so well, and the best in them shines through. So this is a very key principle of intention, the ability to see the best in others even before they've shown you their best. And when you do that, they rise to the occasion. Let's give everyone an A, starting with ourselves. Now, I realized in my journey of understanding what is true happiness, there are 4 kinds of happiness. First is known as no happiness. Second is happiness for a bad reason. Third is happiness for a good reason. And the fourth is happiness for no reason. Now, the first one is when you're exclusively focused on all that's wrong in your life. Always complaining, always disheartened, first one. The second one is happiness for a bad reason. And most people don't recognize this as happiness for a bad reason. The belief that something will happen in my life and then I'll be happy. I'll achieve something, I'll go somewhere, I'll get something, what I want will happen, I'll achieve, my desires will be fulfilled, and then I'll be happy. And look back in your life, how many of your desires actually have been fulfilled? And for how long were you truly happy? The thing is, the moment you fulfill one desire, for example, you buy the house, now you need furniture for the house. Then you get the furniture, now you need the music system. And so you see, whatever you get, there's the next thing, and the next thing. And after you got the perfect house, now you're sad that the buy is not coming on time. There's always something, right? So this is called happiness for a bad reason. You're waiting for the next thing to happen. Happiness for a good reason is an inside-out approach. Instead of waiting for your outer life to line up, you ask yourself, what does it feel like to have it? And then there's happiness for no reason, which is just simply being. The happiness of being. So when our desires are held tightly, that's known as an expectation. It's an outside-in approach to happiness. The belief is something has to happen first, then I can be happy. In expectations, we do all kinds of things for happiness, to be happy. Intentions is desires held lightly, which means it's an inside-out approach to happiness. It is doing things from happiness as opposed to for happiness. One is very serious, one is light-hearted. One is like very afraid, what if my desires don't get met? And the other is not afraid because it knows if one doesn't get met, then we'll do something else. It's all right. So one is serious, one is light-hearted. Now, for example, I was in my school's soccer team. And I noticed that in the practice matches, I was one of the good players. But when it came to the actual tournament, the actual match, then my performance went down. And I found that very perplexing. I'm practicing well, I do really well. But when it comes to the actual match, I don't perform so well. So now I understand why that was. Desires, when they're held tightly, then actions become weak. In the actual game, I was very conscious that the whole school was watching me. My teachers were watching me, and a lot of girls were also watching. And because of that, because I was so keen to do a good job, my performance went down. Because half my mind was, what are they thinking? What's happening? But when desires are held lightly in the practice match, it didn't matter if you won or you lost. They're all friends. When the desires are held lightly, actions become strong. My game was very good in the practice matches. So when we come from expectation, there's always fear attached to it. There's that fear of doing the wrong thing and something going wrong. Our actions become weaker. But when we come from intention, it's coming from joy. It's coming as a natural, authentic expression of our being. The result of that is actions become really strong. We're not so afraid anymore. And we can be our authentic selves. All those 6 heart virtues are naturally expressed in a balanced way. That's the difference between an expectation and an intention. Happiness for a bad reason, happiness for a good reason. So let's start shifting from expectations to intentions. So how do you shift from an expectation to an intention? That's a good question. Let me give you 3 powerful questions that will enable you to convert any expectation into an intention. Remember, expectation is about outer things that we want to happen so that we can be happy. Whereas intention is about an inner state of being from which we go ahead and do what we want to do. Let's take an example. What do I want? I want to take my family to Germany for a vacation. Second question. How will you feel if you have it? In other words, if you take your family for vacation to Germany, how do you think you'll feel? Oh, I'll feel so delighted. I'll feel so excited. I'll feel so joyful that my entire family gets a chance to see this beautiful country. And we'll laugh a lot. I will feel so happy. Third question. Can you feel that now? Now what you do is immediately shift from When that happens, I'll be happy, joyful, excited, all the rest of it, into right now. Can I feel that now? So maybe just try this. Just close your eyes. And now feel this deepening and widening. Allow this feeling to fill your whole being. Every cell is vibrating with this joy and happiness. And now take a slow, deep breath. And you can gently open your eyes. How wonderful. Now, what we just did was, we converted an expectation into an intention. Instead of waiting until I go to Germany to be joyful, I can be joyful and I can still plan a trip to Germany. We're not saying don't go to Germany. But now the whole approach has changed from an outside in to an inside out approach. From a very serious and tight approach to a light and joyful approach. You might find that it could be Germany. It could even be someplace in your own country. You don't have to go abroad for that. And you might still enjoy as much, because enjoyment and spending time with the family has come first and the place is secondary. So this is the shift from expectation to intention. And these three questions will help us. What do I want? How will I feel if I have it? Can I feel that now? And really feel it. Pause, take a minute, really tune into that feeling. Every time you do this, you unhook yourself from the two myths of happiness. The myth of when something happens, I'll be happy. And the myth of more, when I have more of something, I'll be happy. And when you do this, you experience a natural joyfulness, a natural ease. And now from this place, all your actions become really strong. And as we convert expectations into intentions, with these three powerful questions, they're known as the doorway questions. They open a door through expectation into intention. So practice these three doorway questions to convert all expectations into beautiful intentions. I'd like to talk to you about the power of written intentions. Now, the moment you write down your intentions, they take on a whole new power. And why is that? Because writing is like crystallized thought. Notice how writing takes something invisible and makes it visible. And that's what intentions do. So written intention can be done in many forms. The most basic form, what's known as the BPO, which means the best possible outcome. So for any situation in your life, could be about your health, about your work, about your finances, about your relationships, any aspect of your life, write down the best possible outcome like it's already happened. So one way to do this is to start by writing, I'm so grateful now that. And then go ahead and write down, how would you like things to be as though they've already happened? And don't forget to also mention how would it make you feel as you do that. So as you write this, something very remarkable happens. Your deeper mind starts to take on these images as opposed to the images of the WPO, which as you can guess means worst possible outcome. So you've shifted your attention from what can go wrong to what is possible. And it works like this. What I vocalize, visualize, emotionalize, I actualize. So whatever you are seeing as images in your mind and hearing as words and feeling, that's your reality. You experience that as your reality. What I vocalize, visualize, emotionalize, I actualize. Writing can help us do that. Now, one simple way you can practice this, and this is actually a secret of many successful people, that before they sleep at night, they write down the most important things they want to do the next day. Planning your day before you sleep at night. And don't take too long, just a few minutes, the most important 2 or 3 things, and be clear in your mind, see yourself doing them, feel it, and then go to bed, go to sleep. The amazing thing is all night your deeper mind is working. It's churning, it's absorbing this information. The next day goes quite smoothly. If you make this a habit of planning the day ahead, the night before, you're going to get wonderful results. So try these examples of written intentions. You know, I was doing a session once, and in the break, a person came to me and said, I know the power of written intentions that you're talking about. I recently found a diary of mine. And in this diary, which I had written when I was in school, I had written 100 things I want to do in my life. When I looked at the diary, I had tears in my eyes. Because so many of the things I wrote down, which I thought were impossible to do, I had written about traveling to a different country. I had written about shaking hands with the President of India. I talked about earning 1 lakh rupees a month. I was doing all of those things now. And there were some things that hadn't yet happened, but they were on the way to happening. And there were some things that truly hadn't happened, but all of those things were things which along the way I had lost interest in. So he said actually 100% of my intentions were met, or I decided they were no longer important for me. Now this is not a unique experience for this individual. A lot of people have these experiences. So as you write your intentions, you ask yourself, what do I really want? And you write them down like they've already happened. You tap into a very powerful principle that what we focus on expands. That what we think about and thank about, we bring about. Practice the power of intentions, one of the key elements of leading from within. Pause, feel, intend, and connect. Now, one of the intentions that can really enable us to make every day the happiest day of our life is so simple. It is the intention to lead a complaint-free life. I'll give you an example. So when I was a monk, my teacher had 2 simple rules. The first rule was, if you complain, you have to do something about it. And the second rule, if you make a suggestion, because often our complaints come hidden as suggestions, then you have to implement it. I found that fascinating. And these 2 simple rules really kept all of us more mindful. Are we complaining? Then we'll be asked to fix it. And then we'll be asked, so what are you going to do about it? And are we offering suggestions without any intention of actually implementing them? So I really like that, and I've been implementing that ever since. So I invite you to make every day a complaint-free day. Look at the impact it has on you. Just to start the day and say, I choose to make this 100% complaint-free day. To say that is also to say, I'm taking full responsibility for my happiness. In other words, no one has to change. Nothing has to change for me to be happy today. This is called happiness for a good reason. This is called happiness for no reason. You're getting in touch with that. It's like taking back the remote controls of happiness we've given to other people and saying, please press that button to make me happy, please press that button. No, I take back. And no one else has to change for me to be happy. So this is called living a complaint-free day, and if you live every day a complaint-free day, you're living a complaint-free life. And that's bound to be a very light, joyful, and conscious life. Now we've talked about the power of pausing, feeling, intending, and connecting. Let's build on this, and let's give you a practical way you can apply this power in your life. Now, would you agree that when our thoughts, words, and actions come together, it's really powerful? In fact, the opposite of power is when you're thinking one thing, saying another thing, and doing yet another thing. So one time when I was traveling in Australia, I met a healer, and she taught me a beautiful symbol, Mayurma. It's a symbol of infinite love, of sending good wishes to everybody. So let's learn this wonderful symbol together. So what I want you to do is stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Now take your hands up, all the way up. And we will draw the symbol in the air. So slowly bring your hands down and make a gigantic heart. And now put your palms one on top of the other at your heart level. And now draw a lying down 8. That's an infinity symbol. And we'll draw that in the air. And let's make it larger. And let's make it really big. And bring it to your heart and say with me, Mayurma. So what we just did was, we invited the highest, purest form of love, and we made it infinite, and we spread that love. Let's practice it a couple of more times. This time, it's for yourself, sending good wishes to yourself for the whole day. So take your hands up and slowly bring it down. Make a big heart. And again, a lying down 8. And bigger. And really big. And let's say together, Mayurma. Sending good wishes to yourself. Try one more time. We learn through repetition. This time, it's for your family and friends. So now go on your toes. And come down, make a gigantic heart. And thinking of your family and friends, wherever they are, see them smiling and happy. And bigger. Sending them powerful good wishes, really big. And let's say together, Mayurma. Now what you just did was, your thoughts, words, actions came together to send powerful good wishes. This symbol is known as Mayurma. It's a great way to start your day. When you wake up in the morning, make 3 Mayurmas, one for yourself, one for your loved ones, one for the world. I actually like to make a Mayurma in all directions. North, south, east, west, above, below, also one for myself. When you're going on a long journey, and in many of our modern cities, every journey is a long journey. So make a Mayurma before your journey, and you'll enjoy the journey. It's a safe journey. Also, if you have someone in a different city who's not feeling well or who's disturbed, make a Mayurma symbol. You can either draw it in the air the way we did, or just in your mind, and send them these loving wishes. One of my friends invented a new Mayurma. She said it's a mini Mayurma. So try this. Put your 2 fingers out here and bring it down and make a heart. And now a lying down 8 and bigger and big, and say with me, Mayurma. Isn't that cute? So that's called a mini Mayurma. There's so many different ways in which you can use this for sending good wishes to yourself and your loved ones. Use this symbol to spread love in your world. Because when you're sending out loving wishes, you're only receiving loving intentions. When you're sending out loving intentions, you're only receiving loving echoes.